Now, I saw some selectors walking around the course. Now, who are they, and what is their function tonight?
Well, the selector's job tonight is basically to observe. Anyone that was in Palm Beach and did the official Olympic trials.
Right.
So their job now is to monitor the top group and see that they're continuing to stay in their top form. The horses are jumping in their top form. The riders are riding well. That they can consistently stay in good form at the top level, not just have a lucky day or a lucky couple days, but they can consistently stay in almost a peak situation, which is very difficult to do, to stay peaking for so many classes and over so much time.
And that's a lot of experience coming from Michael Endicott with the resume that you bring to the show this evening. That's incredible. Now, I saw Robert Ridland, and he was out walking the course tonight. He is, you were talking a little bit earlier about the changing of the guard. And he is the changing of the guard in 2013, as this will be George's final finale at London 2012, and now we'll turn the page and start a new chapter with Mr. Ridland.
Yeah. I think Robert's excellent for the job. You know, I was fortunate enough to be on the selection committee, actually, with Frank Chabot while he was still chef d'equipe. And I worked with George as he took over on the selection committee. And I look forward and hope that I can work with Robert as well, you know, if I'm, you know, so fortunate to be nominated back on a selection committee at some point in time. But I think Robert's a perfect candidate. He has all the experience, and I think it's a very difficult job to get somebody who has the experience, who has the know-how, who has respect not only amongst all the riders in the U.S., but has an international presence. That if there's an issue, he can go and speak on behalf of the riders and to the committees or juries on these international events. And being someone who has a big resume, who has well respected, is critical.
No doubt. And certainly Mr. Ridland, no stranger to international competition himself. He went to the World Cup Finals. He has been everywhere, done a great job, show management and the rest, and now we're really ushering in this new chapter. And George has done a phenomenal job over the last decade or two. He's really influenced, obviously, American show jumping, the style, really, our gold medal resume that we bring to London 2012. Now, as you're looking at London 2012 today, are you thinking, do you have like 3 countries that kind of come to mind that will be really doing battle for that 1-2 position?
You know, Olympics are always sort of a phenomenon, so to speak. You know?
Yeah, they will.
And
definitely that.
You just don't know. I mean, we as the U.S., who you think is a sort of a powerhouse in the sport.
Superpower, yeah.
Actually, we barely squeaked in. Yeah. You know, we had the medal at the Pan Am Games, or we ourselves would not have even been in the Olympic Games this year.
No doubt.
While we could have fallen out of the Super Tour, Super League, we're very capable of going into London and winning a gold medal. So, you say the U.S. leading up to any Olympic Games in the last 10 years hasn't been the powerhouse, but yet we've managed to pull off gold medals in the last 2 Olympic Games.
Which is an interesting testimony to our entire arsenal of show jumping riders, as well as our dressage riders too. Super powerhouse there as well with Stefan Peters.
Yeah, Stefan's fantastic.
Yeah, we saw him last week here at the Del Mar National, and that was off the grid. Him and Gunther duked it out in the main ring, and it was just spectacular. Now, going into London, is it going to be America versus Great Britain? America versus Team Germany? I mean, or the Nederlanders? The Netherlands are really going to be, who's the dark horse in this that somehow we've missed this year?
You just don't, like I said, it's a phenomenon. You just don't know. I don't think it's us against anyone. I think there's the U.S., there's Germany, there's England, there's the Dutch, Belgium, even Brazil could be a black horse.
The powerhouse.
Pessoa's pushing hard down there and well organized. Yeah. Any group, even like Brazil, could come out as not a team international force, but then could show up and medal. Saudi Arabia is pouring a lot of money and resources, and they've got good riders.
They do.
So it's difficult to say. It's not only, in the old days, I guess, so to speak, it was America, and it was Great Britain, and it was Germany, and the Netherlands would be the strong
the stronghold, the bastion.
But it's really expanded now. Show jumping's really expanded into to many nations that you may not have originally suspected would be real horse country.
Saudi Arabia,
for example.
And obviously Brazil coming on, and then we've got our friends from down south from Team Mexico coming in the house, and they're looking interesting as we're kind of turning up the heat. They're over touring right now, and perhaps individual is more what I was thinking for them. But Great Britain, I know because I was there. Guys, if you're watching from Great Britain, good evening or good morning to you, as we're bringing you the best in sport right here, right now on SJU TV. Michael Endicott is in the house, Grand Prix rider with us, and myself, Paul Peterson, as we're delivering to you the $50,000 Surfside Grand Prix. We're just talking a little bit about, really London 2012, Greenwich Park. We were there. We did the whole run up to London 2012. It's an exciting place. It's it's really cool because we can read the street signs, and we don't want to drive, but we can read the street signs, and we know where we're going.
Have a head-on collision, but yes.
At least exactly. But I know Great Britain is really keen about medaling. And what do we know about perhaps Nick Skelton lending one of his second horses to perhaps Michael or John? Are you? Can you confirm any of those rumors that we've been handling? No. Okay.
I always say, I said, what is it? Believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see.
Okay, thank you very much, because we've been hearing some of that, and more power to them, because really, it's their hometown Olympics.
Sure. Well, every host nation wants to be a medaler, if not obviously the gold medal team. Every host nation, that's their drive. And Great Britain, they have an incredible history of brilliant riders, and they're for sure almost, I think, by age the most experienced team. Going to the Olympic Games.
The resume that they're bringing to the Olympics.
Deep experience in age and qualification. They're unbelievable. So if they were all well mounted, they would be probably the biggest force to reckon with. It comes down to being mounted. There's so many great riders, and England is an exception. They have that group of incredible, super talent, but it really does take two to tango.
Exactly. Well, Ben Maher's certainly coming on strong, and then you've got the old guard. Well, I don't say old guard, but you've got John and Michael, and Nick obviously really turning up the heat.
Fantastic.
So it's going to be quite a team, and these guys. Tim Stockdale is now back showing, and his goal is to ride in London 2012. Broke his neck about 3 months ago, and now he's back in the tack showing, going for that goal, because obviously it's a lifelong achievement. As a rider, is it hard for you to kind of really decide whether you want to go Super League, Global Champions, or do I want to go to the Olympics? Because you can't do them all. You can only do one or the other, right?
You can't do them all. I think you really have to, as a rider at that level, you have to prioritize, this is my goal, and then you have to roadmap it. My end game goal is the Olympic Games and the medal. You have to map out your path to get there, and then whatever path is your highest priority to prepare you, not only maybe to qualify you, but then also to prepare you and your horse to peak at that time. Then that's the path you choose, and for each horse rider combination, that may vary.
Right.
That may vary. So each rider, from selected groups can take a different path depending on what they feel is their best option to peak and be prepared for the Olympics.
Wow. The wealth of knowledge Mr. Michael Endicott brings to our show this evening. We can't thank you enough, and we'll be right back in just a few.